Howdy y'all. This week we're gonna get this axle assembled. We're gonna keep the dirt out of it hopefully and the Bondo dust. I've got a couple of little cool tips and tricks on how to pull in studs on these housings. We're also going to take care of some stuff in that differential that needs to be removed for green bearing axle installation. Now, some people say it's necessary or not necessary depending on which green bearings you're using. However, it is really easy to get it out, and we'll go over all that and see if we can get this put together. Alright, so we've got the housing cleansed for the second time. Got all the old grease and dirt out of it. We've buffed up all this areas and on the ends. Removed the old gasket. Now we've got to get some studs in these holes. There's probably several ways to do that. I prefer the lug nut installation tool. It has a bearing built into one side, and I've already kind of got it rigged up with a good condition nut with a copper washer behind it. And what's going to happen is this little guy is going to tighten on the housing and draw the stud in nice and easy. We're also going to be using some thread lubricant, keep it from galling. And so let's just get started. We've got the black goo. And just a little bit there. Can't really put too much. Go ahead and share some of that one with that one. That might have been a little bit too much. Alright. Well, go ahead and slide your stud in. There. Get that started. Thusly, hold back, get this snugged up. Alright, now I'm just gonna draw it in. And just like that. Straight as an arrow, not too much work. We'll finish up the rest of them here. I'll try and get another little side shot for y'all to watch this action happen. yeah. The trick is to get them all the way in. Don't go too much, as it can 100% pull the threads. And that's why you got to use lots of lube on this. I like the ARP assembly lube. It does real well. And just like that, get your fingernail behind all of them, make sure they're fully seated. You may have some that kind of show a little bit more knurling through the end of them than others. That's kind of just due to the way this housing is manufactured. And biggest thing, just get them all the way snugged up as best you can. Like that top one right there could use just a touch more. Yep. Oh, and that one right there. Just a little bit more. Yeah, that one's kind of bottomed out on the side of that interior housing. That's as far as that one's gonna go. And that one too, I'll give it just another quick bump. And that's all she's got. Alright, there we go. Oh, let's get the ones on the axle and housing ends, and we'll be ready to put this puppy together. Alright, so these little guys don't have nearly as aggressive as a knurl on them, and it appears that they just tap right in more or less. Get them lined up. Okay, what do we got going on here? Got one in there real nice. That one right there looks like it's just kind of hitting the housing a little bit there. Let's get our special tool and pull that one through. Nice. Well, that one's a snug fit too. A little goop. And that one was also kind of a loosest fit. Well, sometimes you can get them tapped in, and sometimes they need a little love. But that'll do for there. Let's go ahead and move on to the other side. Yep, I think that one's another. Yep, that one went in easy. Oh, I think that one's gonna go in easy too. Well, maybe not. We're gonna have to upgrade our tool a little bit, guys. Back with some fresh hardware here. The one thing about this is you have to know these nuts can be kind of sacrificial in a way. One we were using previously just didn't have any more flats on it. Kinda got a little rounded off. Not a big deal. That's why we use the old stuff to help along with the install here. We got some fresh washers and a fresh nut. Oh, if we could make our fingers work at least. There we go. One more to go. Alright, that's all of those guys firmly seated. Well, let's get on to some other things. Alrighty guys, so next up we're gonna go ahead and get our O-rings reinstalled on our axle shafts. We've already test fit everything and looks like it's pretty good to go. So we need to start with that little guy. And it's a exact fit over there. What we have to do is get our little snap ring. Find the end of it. There it is. We're gonna get that rolled around on the side of the retainer plate. And then same thing up here. Roll it into the groove. Sometimes a little pick helps here. It's a snug fit. It will go. It should be able to go by hand even. It's going. Alright. Just roll that all the way around until we're in the groove. There we go. And we can slide our O-ring into its groove. Just simple. And the gasket does fit over the snap ring quite easily. It's an exact fit over the snap ring, and the plate is an exact fit over the bearing. And as you can see, that's what's going to retain the axle in the housing. Let's get the other one done. Move on to the next thing. Alright. Get it started in the groove. and work it around. I'm sorry if some of this stuff looks a little crusty, guys. Trust me, it is clean as it can be. That's what we call shelf wear, unfortunately. When stuff sits around for 15 years, that's what happens. It's not going to affect anything. Bearing roll's good. And that's ready for install. Alright, y'all. The next thing is this little guy. This is the thrust block from our 489 case. It is not 100% necessary to always remove this. From my research, it shows that early style green bearings, yes, you need to remove this. Later style, probably not. The only thing I see wrong with it is that it's, you know, I was able to pull this out in two pieces without a punch or anything. If any of this were to wear out or fail, you've got some pretty good sized chunks of stuff that, you know, probably won't fall out. But I was able to grab these with a pair of needle nose pliers and popped right out. So it's not necessary with green bearings because they are, well, there's no preload adjustment on them. This was there purely so that you could adjust the preload on the axle bearings from one side. It pushes straight through this guy into the other axle and sets the bearing over here as well as over here. So got that out luckily without too much trouble. You may find you need a punch to get yours out. You may have to drill the little pin a little bit possibly to get it loose. I don't know. Like I said, I got lucky, grabbed it with a pair of needle nose, and it's one less chunk of crap floating around the case possibly. So, where are we at? Not sure. Alright, let's get this gasket installed, and we can install the chunk. We are going to be using a gasket with a little bit of pookie. Keep out them pesky leaks. Not too much, just enough. You'll probably go back over this with your finger and smooth it out. Don't want a lot, just enough. Oh, gasket time. And this gasket's also seen some better days, but it's gonna do the job. Gotta get it on there. The correct orientation. That is crucial. It only goes one way. Now that's seated down. Without tearing it up any worse than it already is from sitting in a box for the last 15 years waiting to be installed. Tack it all down. Now, on this side of the gasket, we're going to lightly grease it, which make life much easier later on when we decide the 355 gear isn't enough. And we'll probably be able to even reuse the gasket. It'll be nicely glued on to the housing. For jobs like this, I like silicone based grease, water resistant, etc. Hopefully there's enough in this tube. Oh yeah, we got enough. And we're just gonna give a light coat all over this gasket. And it should, like I said, hopefully in the future, if we ever want to change gear ratio or anything, we can easily remove this third member. And I'll have to mess with the gasket, hopefully. That's the ideal anyway. Should be sufficient. Now the heavy part. Luckily I have already got the third member prepped, cleaned it up as best we can. We're going to ignore the rusty spots and see if we can drop this thing in one shot without hurting anything. A little ahead of ourselves on this side. Evened out nice and easy. Oh, come on. Ah, Yahtzee. Just like that. All right. Oh, now that we've got it more or less where it's supposed to be, we've got some copper washers. Go around these a little bit. Come on. Alright. Started. Now zap them down. Oh, you can't eat my socket. Come on now. Thank you. It's going to need a little extension. Alright. Got an extension for the last one there, and center chunk is installed. Nice. Okie dokie guys, let's get some axles in this old girl. First off, got your gasket in there. We're also going to be putting some goop inside there. The silicone grease will keep everything from rusting into one piece in the future. Should make axle removal easier. And also, you don't want to snag the O-ring and tear it. Also, we still have the original axle seal in here. Believe it or not, still very pliable after 50 years. Even got a Chrysler emblem on it. So we're gonna do the same thing to this axle. Got some nice slick 'em up juice on there. A little bit on the seal surface. Not that it does much, but alright, that is prepped. First steps first, don't forget your backing plate. These are our truck backing plates. A little crusty. I'll clean them up in the future when I get some brake parts handy. Depending on what brake backing plates you're using, you may or may not have two parking brake cable ends. These are left or right, so they can go on wherever you'd like. Lined up, just like so. And let's stab an axle. Okay, looking good. Alrighty, take two, guys. Found that the plates, these little guys that came with these axles, aren't exactly drilled very good. We had to do a little dremeling on the holes to elongate them so that it will sit flush on this bearing like that, and also line up with all the bolts. So let's try this again. Oh, we're already messing up. You gotta have a brake backing plate first. Step by step, step by step. Okay. Now we can install an axle shaft. Alright. In theory, alright. Now, all our stuff lines up. How about that? I love aftermarket stuff. Not quite as good as Mother MOPAR, unfortunately. Some modifications may be required. That's kind of the story of working on most cars nowadays, unfortunately. Brand new parts don't fit. Run into it more than you know. Alright. There we go. That's pretty good. We're gonna still need to go over these with a torque wrench more than likely, but that is close enough for getting her sealed up today. So yeah, we will repeat this on the other side, and there we go. Sealed up axle housing. Not bad. Alright guys, that does it for today. We got the rear end assembled, sealed up, keep the dirt out of it, and the Bondo dust. Because as you can see, there's been a lot of it. We got a day off to do some work in the shop without the all day long. And this is going in the primer really soon. About 90% there. So okay, stay tuned for more, because we'll be showing this off real soon. Might even be able to pick a color pretty quickly even. What do y'all think we should paint it? I don't know. I'm up in the air on it. Maybe red, maybe black, maybe green, not purple. So, I don't know, we'll see. Thanks for watching, y'all. Subscribe if you're not, and we'll see you next time.